Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Model Kit Beginner. I hope you guys are all well, and we'll have a look today at something which is close to my heart. I've always been, even before even before cars, I was a big fan of the Hudson Hornet, and obviously the Fabulous Hudson Hornet was the very successful stock car, the forerunner of the NASCAR series, and with the step down design, so it was a little bit lower, a little bit more aerodynamic, and very successful car, despite not having a V8. And this is what we have a look at, and very excited to show that one off. So here's the box. That's what it looks like. On the side you see a bit of text more, and then you see this, what it looks like built. Very nice. And it says here, Hudson dominated stock car racing in the early 1950s. The real power of the Hornet came from the awesome 7X racing engine. Developed by Marshall Teague and Hudson engineer Vince Piggins, the Big Six had a bigger bore, bigger valves, relived and polished combustion chambers, high compression head, high performance cams, split dual exhaust, and twin-age power carburetors and manifold. This combination boosted the big straight six up to 220 gross horsepower, a jump of 75 horsepower to the showroom stock figure of 145. So it was a beast, and the twin H, that is what you see here. The two, they're actually single carburetors, and they had these two air cleaners, and this was the dual H intake system. Right, so I would say let's go down quickly and have a look about the history of this particular kit from the fine folks over at Moebius. So see you in a minute. And here we are, the Fabulous Hudson Hornet, which obviously fine folks over at Scalemates have that one documented, or we have. And let's have a look at this. It is a kit which has new parts, got new parts in 2020. It's 125 scale, number is 1206, and you can see it started in 2011 with these very, very beautiful Hudson Hornet right over here. I love that box art, isn't it beautiful? And then it went over to the Cabriolet. Then the first Fabulous Hudson Hornet, which was this one, looked like this. And the one we are looking at today is obviously a repo of the entire range, but particularly this Fabulous Hudson Hornet. And it has a couple of extra parts, or so they say. Right, so I would suggest, having seen that, let's go down to the bench and see what is in the box. Right, and here we are, starting with the instruction sheet. Always very nice to do that. Didn't find an online one, so we do it the manual way. You can see lovely color picture here on top, lovely color box art, and then a bit about modeling. And we then move over to this side. You can see building the engine is the start. We have these all here, which is beautifully done. Two single inlets over there, this not distributor, and then we have the frame and the body right over here. Put the differential and everything else in here. Then we do the interior right over there. Moving over to this side, we then start putting the engine in. We have the firewall with quite a few details on. We put on the bumpers and the front section, and then we bonnet with bonnet hinges, which looks very nice. And then what I always like about the guys from Moebius, they have a very colorful, detailed decal and paint application, so you can see that here. That's pretty cool, so it gives you a pretty good idea. And just another look at the engine with the 2 air cleaners with the twin intakes. That's just beautiful. You see, twin H power. Remember the twin H power? No, nobody remembers that. But yeah, there you are. Straight 6, yes it is a straight 6. Step down design, very successful in the early 50s in stock cars, which it was then called. And then we have colors, suggestion for paint colors, upholstery colors right over here. Here you go. Here, let's put the suggestion for paint colors here so you can see those. And here it gives the original body colors which they used. Very interesting. So if you are into colors and try to make it as accurate as possible, that's your jam. Let's have a look at the decals. We have a big decal sheet. And now we can go down a little bit further. Here we go. With the Fabulous Hudson Hornet decals. Twin H power, Marshall League, the #1. Couple of decals from the sponsors. And that's about it. Here we go. Gives you also right there that it is all under the Chrysler trademark. And then we have different decals. Look at these. They look very nice. There's nothing wrong with those. Looks like we have dashboard decals, quite a few. Very nice interior decals. And then we have obviously a registration plate, engine decals. So very nice. Very, very nice decal collection right over here. And then, let me get this out of the way, and then we'll have a look at the glass, which we'll find in a setting like this. Not gonna take it out of the plastic. You'll have the front glass and the side glass, which appear to be connected. Yes, they are connected. Right, oh no, that's the rear glass and the side glass. I apologize. Then we have the front glass right over here. Here you go. And then looks like on the side everything's open as it should be. Then we have a little window over here. Triangle window, but it seems to be we only have one of the... Oh, it's two of those. 2 triangle windows over there. There you go. And the front lights. And here's some red stuff, which I would assume are then the rear lights. Here you go. From that we move on to the chrome, and now we really should start opening bags a bit, and we do. We'll go with the small one first. You see the iconic grill in front, one of the bumpers. Hudson Hornet, I think that's the one which goes at the back. This is the Hudson's front ornament, if you want so. That was a rear ornament, which was, kind of skew on the back. Trunk lid. Then we have, there's quite a bit of stuff which I cut out of here. We have rear bumpers and front bumpers, I would assume. More bumpers, lots of bumpers. We have the steering wheel made out of chrome, that obviously will have to be changed. And rear view mirror and some smaller light frames. We have the wipers right over here. And mirrors. Oh, wait, can't see. Here you go. These would be the mirrors right over there. And that's about it as far as the chrome parts are concerned. Very, very nice. Some of them need to be de-chromed because they have the attachment points there where they shouldn't be. But if you have a way to touch them up very nicely, obviously you can build your model the way you want to. Don't let me tell you what to do. Absolutely not necessary. We have our first bag of plastics, which we are going to open up. Here we go. Tightly packed. As always with Moebius. Lots of parts. Not shy with parts. They never have been. Right. We have a... See, this looks like the rear seat. Here we go. Side panels, which look very nice and detailed. Beautiful with the map pockets and the window winder, the door opener and everything else seems to be molded in. Here we go. Very nice. Next one is... That's the back of the front bench, I would assume. Yeah, it is, with the pockets over here. And then we have, that looks like engine stuff, exhaust stuff, and some other parts over here. And here are the leaf springs. Here we have the hood or bonnet, we have the front bench over here. Radiator, dashboard, very dashboards, 50s like. I like those, I really do like those. Front suspension, A-link front suspension right over here. We have pedals, we should have a drive shaft right over here. There you go, link drive shaft. We have the rear axle assembly right over here and a couple of shocks. Here we go. Then we have another biggie of parts. Be careful with the knife there, Roland. Here you go. There's still a part in here which we nearly forgot. Quite a few parts. If you don't want to forget, not quite sure if that is a part, leave it here for the time being. This certainly is one, and I'm not too sure where it goes. Let us zoom in. Anyway, there it is. We have obviously more parts than there's those. We seem to have brakes over here. Right. This looks to be sun visors. Other suspension parts, I would assume. Here we have springs, coil springs, and other pens are there, probably for attaching wheels. We have the frame right over here. Sturdy step-down frame from Hudson. Here we go. You can see how it goes down. We have engine. Here's lots of engine. We have the straight six. We have the dual H intake design right over here. That looks like the oil pan, doesn't it? Front parts and other lids right over here. And other parts like oil filter, generator, and this kind of stuff. A couple of water pipes right over here. All in all, looks very nice. There's a little bit, if you'll see here, there's a little bit of flash, but a very light flash, which easily can be worked on and removed. And then last, of course not least, that's why we're all here for. Now before we do that, let's have a look at the tires. Ugh, forgot about the tires. We have tires. Let's just take one out. Very hard tires, I might add. You might want to not put them on your rims once you have assembled them. You must assemble them with the rims. Here you go. Nice thread. They are not branded. They seem to have a light seam. Maybe not. Anyway, yeah. Very nice thread. Unbranded. Hudson Hornet tires. And the back also was a metal axle. Right, now we have this baggie. There's a wheel coming out, steely. There you go. Very nice. More steelies on here. Here you go. We have the bottom pan with integrated tank and a spare wheel bump right over here. Otherwise, nothing particularly which stands out. Not really. Here's something which you need to get rid of. And then we have the iconic shape of the Hudson Hornet. The Hornet emblem, this particular one here, has been molded in. Here we go. We have a fuel filling port right over here, which I guess you would probably cover up. Anyway, there is the lid, screw-in lid is there. The handles are molded in. Front right over here. Here you see the inner fenders. And from this side, looks just as good. Needs a bit of tender loving care. It has obviously. This is where this huge Hudson sign comes in. And everything looks fine. The door gaps are actually panel gaps. They look fine. They look perfect to me. What are we having here? There's a bump here at the top, which looks like it must be there. So that's obviously something which belongs there. I need to figure out what that is. Very, very beautiful. The Hudson Hornet right over there. And this particular Hudson Hornet from Moebius, obviously the fabulous Hudson Hornet. So let's go back up and listen what do I have to say on the conclusion. See you upstairs. And here we are with the fabulous Hudson Hornet right over here. And full disclosure, that bench section I have recorded a little bit earlier. And I have already started building. You can see there are a couple of parts right over here. Very bright. There are a couple of parts which I have primed right over here. There you go. There's the beautiful engine. Just something which I'm looking forward to do tonight. And then, or at least spray paint. And then I have started with the body right over here. We've got a bit of dust on here, so it's a bit of clean. Here we go. So there's the body, and dust is from the stuff which I used to cover up the sides. So that just goes up with the brush, because I a couple of hours ago spray painted. Let me just take this picture away. We know now what it looks like. Here we go. I have painted this white, and it looks very bright. It's actually a white which I always tone down a little bit, so it's a bit more of an off-white color, not a gleaming white color. So here we are. That's the color I'm going to do it, which is, I think, it's a Tamiya blue. It's the next color. Royal blue? I think it's royal blue. Yeah. Anyway, so there it is. And obviously I had fitted a couple of things together. And the main thing I need to tell you, the bonnet or hood was a slightly big on mine. So I had to file it down a little bit. So obviously it's something you want to do before you paint it. So yeah, as usual, just test fit the stuff and then you know exactly how big it should be and what you need to do. So that is quite normal, isn't it? But otherwise, I'm enjoying it so far. I really am. Stuff fits, not a problem. engine is very detailed, really nice detail on the engine. Lots of parts which you have to attach, and then obviously lots of detail painting which has to be done. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Always love doing the engine. And then haven't started with the dashboard at all, so that's the other thing which I'm looking forward to. I actually forgot that I still need to do paint the dashboard and the firewall, so make sure you have that in the correct color. But anyway, this is the Fabulous Hudson Hornet, which mine looks a little bit like that. The blue looks a little bit darker from here than it looks on camera, but anyway, there it is. And I can recommend this kit if you are into the 50s cars, and especially into the old orphans. Hudson, obviously one of them, do not exist anymore. This is a kit for you, certainly is. Well, thanks very much for popping in. Hope you enjoyed this little outing. Left the fan on, obviously it doesn't have too bad an influence on the sound. It's a tad on the warm side. It's 28 degrees centigrade here in this little hut, and it is a lovely spring day in Cape Town. Well, thanks guys. It was lovely chatting to you. You guys have a lovely day further, and greetings from Cape Town. Cheers.